Hello and welcome back to Alcamoso Workshop, and we have something special for you now in the next few weeks, and it's not a Harley. There's no work going on the Harley, there's no paint work going on the Harley. This time we've got a classic fuel tank to restore for a customer of mine. So this fuel tank is off a Honda 400T Dream, and it's from a 1978 bike that the customer has done about 85% of the restoration himself. And looking at the photographs, you've done a pretty fine job so far. Only thing to cap it off is the tank, and that's why he's passed it to me. So this tank has had a rough ride over the years, as well as the rest of the bike. When we saw that from day one, the pictures you sent me of the frame, the wheels and everything else. So having done such a good job on that, we need to emulate that with the tank just to crown it off. So we're going to do this to show standard. That's what he wants to do, to show this bike and to enjoy and ride it as well. That's obviously what it's there for. So this tank, like I said, has had a rough ride over the years. There's some dents in it. It's had about 16 coats of paint. It needs new decals putting in it. The side panels as well are a little bit of a mess. So the whole thing wants doing. And anyway, we've got our work cut out, or have we? Let's take a walk around the tank and show you guys what needs doing. Okay, so we've got our work cut out for this one. We can see previous repairs there. Absolutely horrible coat of paint here. He's had about 16 coats. You see how bad the finish is in here as well. Sprayed over dirt and lacquer over the top, so we've got to get all of that off as well. Moving around to the other side. Okay, you can see here where the filler's been, so we've got a nice dent here that needs to be pulled out. So that area there is probably, I'd say at least, I can feel that now, all that is filler, so all that's got to come off. And coming down below, we can just see where the original decals have been, and these are going to be replaced with new ones. I'm not happy whether these are or not original. If any of you guys out there with this type of tank could tell me, but you can feel every ridge on these, and I think it's been painted in between them. I think they've been masked. I don't think you should be able to feel the ridges like that, but you won't do anyway when we've completed it with the new decals on. This will be super smooth all over. Okay, so not only have we got the tank to do, actually not a bad job. We've only got really one major area of repair, so looking forward to getting that ripped off. And then we've got the side panels here. These aren't actually in too bad condition, so probably about half an hour's work in that. But this one, someone's previously tried to remove the paint, and we can see it's gone into the plastic, so we've got to smooth that one back off there. So quite a bit of work to get that one right and smooth, ready for painting. So I don't know, probably got about 3 hours work in that one. So tank frame. Now this frame I use mainly for Harley Sportster tanks. Previous paint job. And these brackets here now are no longer required for this tank. So all we've got to do is put a repair washer in there to keep the back steady. And at the front, mount it as it would be mounted originally on the bike. We've got two rubber bobbins here, quite easily available, and they're just screwed into a piece of timber which is mounted then and screwed to my steel frame. So with that now, that's not going anywhere. That's absolute ideal work surface, and that's what I use for painting all my tanks. And when we come for doing the top coat, we'll remove this repair washer and just put a piece of thin timber underneath and then screw that back down so it raises this lip and allows us to get underneath with the paint gun. Okay, so let the fun begin. Let's get that filler off. Okay, so phase one of the tank restoration. You see now we took all the paint off down to bare metal, so it gives us a great idea now where the repairs need to be on the tank. So coming down underneath here, you can see this ridge here that's got a little darker bit where there's still a touch of paint left in. So we've got this ridge to fill, which we saw earlier on in the paint, but now we've actually got an idea how deep it is and how far we need to go. So with that one, it's quite difficult with it being a shallow crease. So to pull that out, we have to put a tool onto here and try and pull the centre out. Now it will still have to have a little bit of filler over that because of the nature of the repair. But believe me, you won't see that when it's done, so not too bothered about that. The rest of it here, absolutely beautiful. You can just feel a few nicks in around it, which they're going to have a little bit of stopper in those and filled in little marks, just like tiny little marks like this one here, and another one somewhere around here. So these will have to be highlighted and raised. Still going to take this cap off. We've left that cap on just so it's easy to sand off while it's still got the bracket on. So to do the underneath and round here, we'll take that bracket off. And then coming around to the other side, we'll just bring this into the light. Just dust over there from the sanding. Again, when you feel there's some little tiny pinholes, but the main area of repair, you can see the crease here. And again, we've got that center line. So we have to pull that out from the center line, which is going to leave us with still a little bit of work to do on the crease here, which needs to be sanded through to get that line back over here, because it just dips in slightly. You can just feel that right there. So the first part of this is we're going to pull it out from the top and down and see what we're left with. And again, that will have to have a slight ridge of filler, which we're going to use a metal filler for that though, but nowhere near as much as what was on before. In fact, it'll only be a tiny fill over the top just to get the shape back, but the most of that we're going to pull out by hand. But we're going to show you how to do that anyway, if anyone's got a crease in the tank, and what is the best tool to pull that out. Okay folks, so we are at the dent removal stage. We've pulled all the paint off now, like we've shown you, down to bare metal. We've still got a few bits on the top there to do, but we're at the stage now where we need to address the dents in the tank. So we've got two major dents in the tank we need to do, and we've got two dent pulling kits to try and attempt that with. The first one we're going to use is the traditional dent puller, and for that task we use a multitude of different fitments, and these are just aluminium alloy bodied, different sizes, bigger ones, circular ones, and obviously you glue on through there. The glue sets from the holes and we use the puller to try and pull them out. So that's what we're going to try and attempt. So while we have the glue gun heating up, we'll bring you a bit closer. So you can see the dent we've got to pull here now. We've got at least about a 10mm deficit there we've got to pull. If we put a flat line across there, I don't know where my rule is. And this one will just fit beautifully just inside the crease of the dent, which is what we want. Okay. Okay, so within 30 seconds we've got to keep a little bit of pressure on that. Just spill a little bit along there, we can see how that is, and that has absolutely gone off now in about 60 seconds. Peel it off, we don't need that. So we'll just give that another couple of minutes and then we can attempt to try and pull. Okay, so there is no guarantee that this is going to hold, so Okay, now that has absolutely done a stunning job of pulling that side of the dent out. So we'll pull that a little bit more and then bring you guys again closer and show you how that's performed. Right, now, if you remember before where the heat mark was here, that actually had a V in it from the crease, and we've nearly got that line back. Let's come around this side here. Okay, so just feel a little nib here, which I'm not too worried about at the moment. Because what we've got to do now is release this and then move it slightly over to this side and then repeat the process. Underneath, that has come out now probably about 15mm. So we've got here to do and then possibly move down here. If we move this over, take this off and move this over to the left, then what it'll do then is hopefully pull this into the center of the crease, and then the bottom part of the dent, that's nice and easy then just to bring this line back. So we'll remove this with the agent now and then repeat process again. Now, if any of you buy these dent pulling kits, it does actually say that if you don't succeed in the first, second, third attempt, it can take up to 10 attempts to bring a dent like this up to an acceptable level, just to skim over with a filler to, you know, complete the repair.